What was that?
Perfect. You want to be that guy?
Wow.
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 Wow. Wow.
Wow.
It's Friday, guys. It's
Good
Friday.
morning. It's Friday.
Indo. Good morning, sir.
Welcome to Decentralized TV, Crypto and Coffee. We talk about crypto, we drink about coffee, and I'm your host, Data Lord, with your co-host, Jaime.
Here to serve.
I'm checking you out. So, we're reminding you it's Mother's Day this weekend. Don't forget.
Good call. Good call.
It's Mother's Day on Sunday.
So be a grateful son or daughter, guys. Come on,
So-
show your love this weekend.
No matter how great or terrible your mother is, be a great son or daughter.
That's right. Be the change you want to see in this world. Be.
Yeah. You're in control of how you treat other people, and it's a reflection of you, not them.
Absolutely.
Love your mama. Love your mama.
That's right.
And if your mama's not here anymore, find somebody else's mama and show them some love, you know?
That's right. Yeah, someone besides your own blood mother may have been your mama also. So show them
Some
love,
mamas out there.
everyone. Pay your mama some BTC. Well said.
Well,
Indo.
and I don't mean to spoil alert, but we're gonna talk about that. So you know, buy your mom some biddy.
And that biddy is at a discount, guys. It's you will see. Now's a good time to not only DCA but nibble into Bitcoin if you have not nibbled since the beginning of this run.
So good and tasty. It really is, though. Let's look at the markets, shall we, friends and family? Whoopah.
Good
As the
morning,
kids say.
Buston. That is Wapai.
So check it out. Bitcoin over the last week, huge drawback. This is great because
Yes.
this is when you scoop. You see, whenever you see almost minus 10 on
Yes.
BTC, what you got to think is, what would a tortilla chip do here? And the answer is, it would scoop.
That's right, damn it. You know what to
Scoop
do.
the dip, you idiot.
Yeah. This is
All
food
right.
advice, not financial advice, okay, guys?
Oh, I'm talking about Bitcoin. and
Oh, I
food.
know. But
it's
we got to
food.
say the not financial advice.
No, this is food advice, culinary. Ethereum minus 7%. So it's like the little brother, just kind of copies, but does it not as cool.
That's right.
And XRP up for no good reason, Cardano up for no good reason, and Dogecoin up for no good reason.
Doge.
I don't see any major pullbacks or any reason for any concern.
In the short
Litecoin
term.
seeing a little bit of a pullback on the short. That's a good thing. Litecoin having coming up, so pay attention to opportunities on Litecoin.
Yes. The
I can't say
happening
that
is
enough.
near. Is
Can't say that
nigh.
enough. If you don't hear me saying that and you don't do nothing about it, don't come crying to me, pal.
You are that guy. You are that
Okay,
guy.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. Ethereum Classic also finding its way into the relevance a little bit again, so that's cool. Let's look over at the general BTC charts too. So this is the day view. As you can see, we're right here, right? So we're thinking about coming down, but there's not much history at all in this band. Everything but above like 25,000 and under 26.5, we have very little history on. Like there's not really support or resistance in that band other than people's hypothetical gut feeling on what Fibonacci sequences might look like. Like that's like what you got.
Yeah.
There's like no history on this at all. So
But there is a level crossing at this very moment, which we will look at shortly.
yeah. So I'm not yet into a trade here, but as you can see, I am eyeballing this 25. So if we get down to that level, and with combination of Jaime's advice on what the charts might look like, I might pick a position here in the near future. But Litecoin
nibble.
is
A little nibble.
It's an entry point, right? Now, if we're to look at Litecoin, and I want you to pay attention to Litecoin because we got the wrong chart up and I'm awesome. There you go.
That's
There you
embarrassing.
go. He's the right guy. No, so for anyone who didn't pay attention, August 2nd is the Litecoin halving. Well, who cares about Litecoin? It's an altcoin at this point, isn't it? Kind of. Litecoin is a direct fork of Bitcoin. They changed a few token economics, but other than that, it is pretty much Bitcoin. It's on the script algorithm instead of SHA-256, but what you need to know about Litecoin is a lot of things are tested on Litecoin. And so it is relevant. It does now have NFT support with the LTC20 protocol. So I wouldn't sleep on proof of work coins that have, NFT support. That's kind of a big deal, actually, especially once we find our way into a bull market. And right now we have coins like Pepe and other stupid meme coins that are actually proving that this LTC20 and this BTC20 protocols work great. So I want you to pay attention to Litecoin with the halving coming up. Historically speaking, 8 weeks prior to the halvings, we have seen very large run-ups. So that would be roughly June 5th,
June
give or
5th,
take
guys.
a week.
Mark your calendars. June 5th.
Give or take a week.
There you go.
We tend to see big rallies around that point. It could be delayed. It could be sooner. It could be on time. Who knows? It could not even happen, but I think it will. And so we're at this key level. I think this is the low we're going to get before this run up. And so, if we are to look more at like a 4 hour, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. We tapped. I think we're going to punch through this as people get bullish near this time frame. So just pay attention to that. I won't beat a dead horse, but who does that? Sicko.
Yeah, you
Who beats
bastards.
horses? The hell's wrong with you? So also pay attention to Matic. I would say right now, Polygon Matic has enormous use case because it is unblocking the things that are big shortcomings on Ethereum. So because people are still building on Ethereum, despite any reasonable sensibility, Matic is at least enabling them to do so. So I'd say pay attention to Matic if you want an altcoin position. We are flirting with this area over here that anything under like 90 cents is actually a pretty good scoop. And you can see we have a lot of downside. Like we can go as low as like 70 in this band here, but I don't know that the bear market will drag on for that long. So I'd say a lot of things are coming together in the space. We shouldn't be dragging our feet forever. And so this is probably one of those things that I'm looking at, just gaining small positions on as we step down. And then as we, rise, I'm not freaking out because I have, some bags worth a swing up. So
he nibbled, guys. He nibbled near the bottom. That's what happens when you do the right thing.
To a nibble. So Jaime, if you'd show us the macro
Hell
Bitcoin
yeah.
charts, I'd love to get into some text.
It is juicy. Here, let me add to the stream. Here we go. Look at this, guys. Look how beautiful. Let me zoom in as close as I can do this. Look at this, guys. It barely touched that bitch. Like, what is it?
We watched it do it live too. It was funny.
Yeah. It came down and it missed it by, let's see where we're at. That moving average is at around 26,119.
2.3 pixels.
Holy cow. It's like $10 and we just tapped it. So what is this, by the way, for anyone who has not seen? Let me remove all the drawings and just leave these two. The 200 weekly moving average, for anyone who is not familiar, it has been proven to be the support of Bitcoin ever since it was born. And it has wicked below, like it happened back here, way back in 2015. It wicked again with a COVID crash, but it has never closed a full candle underneath the red one. So it wicked below and then closed the next month above. So it just wicks down and comes back up. This bear market is the first time ever it has broken down, stayed below, tried to get above it, and then just shit the bed and stayed below. So ever since the January, we started reaching up to it and tapped it for the first time February 23rd, and then finally broke through it on the week of March 23rd. So you can see now we broke it and we had not come back to test it as support. So whenever you break a level, there's always a comeback where it taps it or breaks through. So it doesn't mean we're out of the woods, but the odds are in your favor of we are there. So this is a point where it's safe to nibble. Don't put all your life savings money and everything in. Just if you have a certain stack, divide it by 6 and put 1/6 in here to be safe. Not financial advice. This is something I've learned in the process, and anyone can get in there. So you have your dollar cost average. Here's an example. Today is dollar cost average Friday or DCA Friday. And this would have been a perfect time to dollar cost average and get in at this support level.
For Mother's Day.
For Mother's Day. That's right. Indo, good advice. Get some biddy for the woman of your life, your mom of your lives. So here we are. Now take a look at this. Not only did we tap it, now we're holding it, and the week has not ended. Sunday night will be the moment we close this bar we're looking at. The question is, will it stay above or will it be below somewhere? So let's look at insurance. If you recall in Brandon's chart, in Data Lord's chart, 25,000 was it looks like a juicy level, and there's not much history between here where we're at and that level. Well, there's one thing here, which is the 200 moving average. We could wick below and then rise above the very next month and stay above it. And that would be ultimate confirmation of support. And now we just look up to see where the next levels, or we see a Bitcoin go sideways until the bull run hits. Or if we use Litecoin as a precursor or a leading indicator, we can see how Litecoin acts up to its halving, and more likely you will see Bitcoin follow in a very similar fashion up to its halving day, which is around March right now of 2024, next year. So we're getting there at this moment. So let's focus on the levels to watch at this moment. Right now, we just tapped that beautiful 26,100 and it missed it again by $60. If well, in this case I didn't, because I learned from this motherfucker down here not to put it right at the level. It always misses it by slightly, so we just missed this one by $60 in this case.
That's the logic for how they squeeze out all the greedy guts.
Yeah, so I did nibble.
Predictable.
So I nibbled here, and I have other levels. So what are the next levels, just in case it does come down? Let me move now to the monthly level. So here we are on the monthly level. It's been beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4 green months. It's only natural for Bitcoin to take a break, pause for a second. So where we're at, if you recall in the weekly, we are at the 200 weekly right here. But on the monthly level, the most important level to watch on the monthly is the 50. And that is an even harder floor than the 200 weekly. Just keep that in mind. So a hard floor, look where it's at, 25,048.
Yep.
So this is another level. So that range that Data Lord just gave us between where we're at today in that 25,000 is as strong as this annual monthly level up here. It's a concrete floor. So whatever you can nibble between here where it's at today and this 50 moving average is a good spot to get in. If this doesn't hold, now we start looking at levels like 23,000. The lowest I see as a floor is about 19,500. So if you break it up into 6 ranges, just find your horizontal levels. You're pretty much safe to be you're pretty much safe to get in where the odds are in your favor of
Yep.
floor being where it's at currently.
The
So
teeter-totter has tipped towards you. Yeah.
absolutely. So this is the chance where you don't have to wonder, is this the floor or is this the ceiling? Now we're looking for the floor. So how do you do that? You break up your portfolio into 6 levels and then you enter. Or if you're trying to catch the altcoin, this is the time where once Bitcoin finds this floor and goes sideways for a little bit, and that explains the June timeframe for Litecoin. Once Litecoin rallies, you're going to see everything else also rally on the altcoin side. So we're looking at about 2 more weeks of indecision or scraping the floor before we see that juicy time.
Indecision.
Yeah.
Exactly on the calendar, indecision.
Mark it, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm
we're
sorry,
at
I
2
have
good levels.
indecision scheduled for the next 2 weeks.
Absolutely. Doubt yourself, do all the shit you need to do to make a decision in the end. But these are good times to now put your buys where the odds are in your favor. Not financial advice, just reading what the chart is telling us. That's all.
I'm with it. Want to say what's up to everybody. I appreciate everyone joining us this Friday. We got Indo in the house.
Good morning, Indo.
Happy Friday. I see you. And yeah, buy your mama some BTC. We're about to talk about that. We got Boston.
Boston, good morning.
Saying what's up, what's up. We got
Gundy.
Gundy with the big old yo. Happy effing awesome Friday, Crypto Nation.
Let's
And
do it, guys.
It is a lovely Friday. So let's get into our stories for the day, shall we? So buy your freaking mom some BTC, bud.
There you go.
Really,
Good
I mean,
advice.
this is a cool thing. Like what Jaime just shared is that we are at some levels that, probably within the next year, people are going to look back and be like, man, I wish I would have scooped. So,
yes.
As we get out of this bear market, you can give your mom some freaking, how do I say this? You can give her some street cred, right? When she's chilling with the girls at church, when she's chilling, with the girls at bingo, when she's, I don't know what your mom's into, but maybe she's like a day packer, who knows? But when people are like, wow, you see that Bitcoin John's been into? And like, yeah, he actually got me some. I'm watching it closely. Now she's cool.
That's right.
Yeah, do that.
And even if it's the mom that don't get into that fairy dust and gives you the stinky eye, trust me, a year to 2 years from now, she'll be like, thank you, son. I now understand Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea if you do that to get her a ledger. And if she has like a good gun safe and all that, you can put it in there. Or if you feel so bold as just to custody it for her, but to print it out on paper so she knows she has it or something, do what you're gonna do. Do what you're gonna do. But let's read this real quick here. So, here's the deal, right? Maybe you have heard some of these same objections. Maybe you are frustrated and figure you should just let it go. If so, just ask yourself this question: how many times has your mom explained something to you that you didn't understand at first? She likely did not just give up on helping you learn and grow. Are you going to quit on her now that her entire future is at stake? Of course not, because you're a Bitcoiner, right? And yeah, this is relatable, right? Like you tell a kid to go to bed, and every time it's like a new occasion. Like they forget that you've ever done this drill before. You're like, dude, go brush your teeth, go.
And then why are you angry? It's because I told you 1,000 times, go do it,
Like, but I'm playing. You misunderstand. Yeah. So I think that's fair to say. And here's how you should do it. Break up the topics for mom, right? So it's easy to overwhelm her. As you talk to your friends, you look like Charlie, from Always Sunny, being crazy with the big old board, Well, actually, you don't want to do that. You want to explain to her very, very simply how this whole thing works. When she's like, hey, why does this Bitcoin thing have any value? Say, Mom, I think that's a really good question. And here's kind of how we can think of it. Why does the dollar have value? Well, the dollar has value because people think it has value. It's not backed by anything. It's not backed by gold. It's technically it's
dumb.
backed by like the
So
violent enforcement of the United States military. If you really get to it, right? Like if you don't pay your property taxes and you bunker down in Texas with a bunch of
why
oh wait
taxes,
that
bro?
happened. Well, no, that
This
happened in
is Waco
Texas.
happened there.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, like if you don't pay your property taxes, though, it can escalate to that point. Is the point, right?
Yes,
So it's like
absolutely.
that's what the dollar is backed by, right? Um, and the expectation that it just works that way. But you can explain, well, what if there was somebody who could just print as much money as they wanted? Well, that wouldn't be fair, right? We agree. And so that's why Bitcoin is different. Bitcoin makes it so that there's no one person who is a super user, right? Every person who uses Bitcoin is an equal participant in Bitcoin. And I think that's a really key uh, principle to understand, that like if you look at Animal Farm, right? Animal Farm explains this perfectly, because some are equal, or all are equal, but some are more equal. And that's kind of how like most financial systems work. But Bitcoin doesn't work that way. In Bitcoin, everyone truly is an equal participant. Nobody's an admin, nobody's a super user, nobody's the Federal Reserve who can just decide, yeah, 21 million was the supply, but now it's 41 million. You know,
Yeah.
they can't pull that on you. And so if you have one Bitcoin, you have one Bitcoin out of 21 million. And if only what can happen is people can lose their Bitcoin and the actual circulating supply decreases. And so you actually have a larger piece of the pie if you just
Scarcity.
hold on.
That's a scarcity principle there.
And technically, like even though gold and silver are really good hedges in that way, technically we could drill and we could find an enormous amount of gold and silver. Like we have no guarantees that won't happen. We could find out that under Costa Rica or something, there's like an enormous amount of gold that we had no idea was there, and now the world supply is twice of what it used to be. Like that could technically happen. People could figure out the technology for recombining atoms and molecules, and all of a sudden there's a lot more gold. So, you know, Bitcoin's an even better back for that, because chemistry can't change Bitcoin's makeup.
Nope.
Right.
Code is law in this case,
And
and
so
it has been ingrained.
And so if you simply explain that to your mom, like, hey, if you have this, you really do have something that's backed by the most secure network on the planet. No one can hack it. It's locked down. And she might ask, like, well, I've heard about some hacks where people wanted Bitcoin. Yeah, but Bitcoin wasn't the part of the hack. They just wanted Bitcoin.
And you know why
Because
they
there's no
wanted Bitcoin?
banking institution, right?
One, and two, they can't take it away once they hacked you.
Yeah.
So even the bad guys want Bitcoin because it's that secure.
So if
They need,
anything, that's a vote of confidence, right?
yes.
So I think if you simply explain that to mom, she'll be like, okay, cool, but how do I use it? It's like, the way you use it is you hold on to it. If we hit some really crazy levels where people you don't know were into Bitcoin because they weren't, are talking to you about it being worth a ton, maybe they're going to get in. That's when you sell. And then you
Yes.
wait for a lower entry point.
Yeah. And it's like, mom, if I gave you gold, would you go sell it now? Yeah, I know you have habits, mom, but would you sell it now, or would you rather
Right.
put it inside the safe for later? And the Bitcoin is the same principle. It's a store of
Yeah.
value.
And if you really want to hook your mom up, you'll get her a gun safe and a pistol. But
Right. And some bullets too.
well, yeah, ammunition, technically. I mean,
Ammunition,
you can
yeah.
have a bullet without any powder, and it's not particularly useful. But fair point, fair point. So that's what I'm feeling on this lovely Mother's Day. Show your mom some love, hang out in the sunshine, but also let's talk some substance with her, and just bossy. She's a mom, she knows.
Good morning. Yeah,
If
guide us
if
through.
uh, if your husband or children were to get you some Bitcoin for Mother's Day, how would you feel about that, girl? You let us know. Uh, so
Hint,
let's get
hint,
into the what's up.
hint, hint. I said.
Oh yeah, Donnie, I'm talking to you, but yeah. So our first story for the day here, I think this is an important story. The Bitcoin miner Marathon Digital hit with another SEC subpoena.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So the first subpoena was given to Marathon in the third quarter of 2021 concerning whether it may have violated federal security laws related to its data center in Hardin. Bitcoin miner Marathon Digital has disclosed that it received another subpoena from the United States Securities and Exchange Commission relating to its 100 megawatt data center in Hardin, Montana. According to Marathon's quarterly report filed May 10th, it received the subpoena on April 10th relating to, among other things, transactions and related parties that occurred when it was creating the facility in Montana, adding, "We understand that the SEC may be investigating whether or not there may have been any violations of federal securities laws. We are cooperating with the SEC." And so the subpoena in the second one received by Marathon, or is the second one received by Marathon regarding the facility, it also received one late in the third quarter of 2021, in which the SEC ordered the firm to produce a number of related documents and communications. Yeah. And so here's a Marathon spokesman saying, "The SEC Gov has issued another subpoena to Marathon Digital. Marathon Digital is a US-based Bitcoin mining firm. The subpoena relates to ongoing investigations tied to Marathon Digital's facility in Montana." Marathon stated that the SEC may be investigating whether or not there have ... Now you know. Good old And whether there are, where was that at? Investigating whether or not investigating.
Not there have been any violations of the
There we
federal.
go.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm so goofy. Whether or not there have been any violations of federal securities laws. Marathon had received another subpoena early on, Q3 of 2021. Marathon was served with SEC subpoena to produce documents and communications regarding Hardin, Montana data center facility. So
something about that facility is going on. I wonder what it was.
Well, it depends who you know, I suppose. Do you know anyone who eats cucumbers in the back of their throat? I don't know.
Oh shit.
Sam Bankman-Fried, why you do that? It's weird.
That's right. He's gonna get meat cucumbers soon.
That's not how you chew food, man. Goodness. So a Marathon spokesperson declined to provide any additional comments. Well, that's too bad. On May 9th, Marathon announced that it had partnered with digital assets infrastructure company 02 to create a large-scale immersion Bitcoin mining facility in Abu Dhabi. I love saying that word, by the way. Abu Dhabi. It sounds like a Pokemon. You caught Abu Dhabi. The facility would consist of 2 mining mines with a combined 250 megawatt capacity. Dang, girl. When you bend over to pick up, the dog's toys, that booty, though. 250 megawatt booty? Man.
That's a big one.
That's a big booty. And Marathon noted that when mining in Abu Dhabi would normally be infeasible, its custom-built immersion solution would be sufficient to ensure the mining rigs remained cool. That's dope. I get that.
Abu Dhabi's hot.
Abu Dhabi's in the desert. It's hot as hell.
Yeah.
Hot pocket.
That's interesting.
Well, even still, I have questions. Is it still cool enough, even with that ambient temperature? I don't know.
I don't know.
You have to have those fans ripping and roaring.
Yeah, you need some moisture to really drop that temperature.
Because you can fit 220 ASICs in like a container typically, right?
Yes, sir.
With immersion, my guess is you'd have to run like half as many. That way, the cooling could be more effective.
Yeah,
the announcement came just 2 months after the Biden administration proposed a new tax for crypto miners operating in the U.S., which would require them to pay a tax equal to 30% of the cost of any electricity used while mining. Why you gotta hurt? You gotta hurt the boys like that.
That's a kick in the nuts. You would expect it. Remember, the initial commentary was 30% on Bitcoin mining. Which means, okay, I made this much Bitcoin, I'll pay 30%. No, they're actually taking your 30% in your costs. They're adding it to your costs. So it's like taking it up front. So yeah, that's man, I don't know. Do you get the feeling that they're trying to stomp out crypto in the United States, Brandon?
I feel like they're trying to stump out decentralized crypto. Yeah, they're trying to
Yeah,
establish centralized crypto.
absolutely. And take as much money as possible from the industry through taxation and other means.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose, I was I forget where I was listening to this. I think it was Brett Weinstein talking with Joe Rogan. It was an older thing I was listening to, but he was saying how this goes without saying, but I think it's useful to hear it. People who currently have power want to squash sincere equal opportunity because it removes the hedge around the power they currently have.
Yes.
And people with out power right now are actively looking for things that have equal opportunity because they know they have a fair go at it, right? And so naturally, with a lot of this technology being used to entrench existing power structures or create new power structures, we're going to see a lot of clash of minds and of efforts, and things might get political. And I don't want it to be that way, but it's simply because old regimes don't want
Yep.
to give up their power, right?
Yep.
And so if and we saw this happen in the United States, as like people really started to understand that like human slavery is not a good thing. We shouldn't do that. People should have uh, life, liberty, and property respected because it's endowed by their creator. And so when that was happening, we had a civil war in this country over the matter,
Yep.
right? And so I think it's important to know that like this isn't different. This isn't that different, because really what this is saying is, are you property of someone else and they get to tell you how it's going to go, or are you a sovereign individual who gets to choose what you do? You own your money, you own your value, you have the right to protect yourself, or does someone else have the ability to legislate and tell you what you can and can't do within that constitutionally protected space? That's really a big question, right? So we got more our crew. I just want to say what's up to everybody. Just Bossy
Good
saying
morning,
good morning,
just Bussy.
family. Got Codebug saying good morning.
Good morning, Codebug.
Good morning. SBF loves cucumbers whole. He does. He eats them, which is it's a good source of fiber, guys. Come on. You can't stomp the honey badger. You can't do it. Honey badger eats cobras.
That's
Ew,
right,
nasty. He's eating snakes.
You don't care. You don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but there will be a big long drawn in the U.S. soon. Which side will we be on? And what he's alluding to there is like, are you pro going with what the government's pressuring you to do, or are you pro, individual sovereignty? And that's the cool thing with Bitcoin, is it does give you the ability to stand your ground, right? Like,
Absolutely.
I lost my keys in a boating accident. Maybe you did. Maybe you go boating a lot, and you had your ledger and your seed phrases with you because you were showing a friend how to set up his. And your wakeboarding got the best of you, and oops, there it goes.
Gone.
Bloop.
Yeah, you
She
better
gone.
you better be far by the time you move that again.
Yeah, I don't know. It's in Lake Powell somewhere. You got to go look. You got to drain Lake Powell, I guess. The whole Lake Powell. So, yeah, our Do Kwon. I don't know about this guy. Let's talk about him. Terra Luna co-founder, or sorry, not co-founder. Terra Luna founder, Do Kwon, or Do K1, whatever you want to call him, bails terms officially accepted by Montenegro court.
Yep, where he's been in prison for a while.
Well, it's not that bad. They got a good workout program, The Montenegro court accepted the offer bail in the amount of 436,000 per person for Do Kwon and his former aide Han Chengjun.
Jesus.
Montenegro has granted approval to the bail terms proposed by Do Kwon, who was charged with the criminal offense of document forgery under Montenegrin law. According to the official document released by local authorities on May 12th, the court has accepted the proposed bail offer for Kwon and Chengjun of 400,000 euros, or 436,000 US dollars each. The head is itchy, along with being put under house arrest. According to the documents, if the house arrest is compromised, Sam, I'm talking to you, the bail will be entered into a special section of the court's working budget. Additionally, the notice said it will be necessary to verify the authenticity of travel documents and identity cards, which are allegedly issued by the competent authorities of Belgium. So, there's your story. Do Diddy Kwan. Yeah.
Yeah. You can get in real trouble with forged documents, guys.
Yeah, so to quit forging stuff, it's not the move. Why forge when you could hold legitimate,
That's right.
cryptocurrencies?
Don't
No
fork
reason for
it.
that.
Hold the real thing.
Yeah. hold your mom in your arms and say, "Girl, I love you." Yeah. Celsius pitched a bold white label pivot even as core lending business collapsed. So why are we talking about these stories? Well, we're talking about these elements inside of crypto that are very public facing, and they got attacked or they failed because of negligence, right?
Mhm.
And the reason we cover these stories is because a lot of people who aren't in crypto might be asking about, hey, what's going on with that? Like, I heard about that failing. I heard about that being a scam. I heard about. We want you to be informed so you can kind of explain this has nothing to do with the crypto side of the house. This has everything to do with sketchy people saying, hey, there's value over here. So they do sketchy things with things that can make them money. It has nothing to do with the asset itself, right?
And these usually happen with new industries as they pop up. I mean, just look at any industry from computers to railroads to whatever. There's always scams around it when the things are new because it's an easy target to
scams and crime,
money.
Not just scams. I mean, you look at when the internet first popped up, like human trafficking was a huge use case there. That's terrible. Like no one should support that, but that was one of the major use cases because people realized that they could cryptographically have conversations and arrange illegal meetings and whatnot. So, like, does that mean technology is bad? Does that mean the internet's bad? No, you're still here using it, right? Yeah, some people use it for wicked things, but that doesn't mean the technology should be colored by how people might use it, right?
Right.
Precisely. I mean, some people use Pyrex for making cakes. Other people use Pyrex for making crack rock. Does that mean Pyrex is bad? Let's, no. Walter White, I'm talking to you. So, Celsius Network, the failed crypto lender, pitched a deep-pocketed investors on an what the hell word is that? Ambitious. My eyes got blurry for a second, and I saw ambitious, and I was like, "That's not the word." Ambitious plan to white label some of its services last year, just as its core business imploded, which is what you want. You want your core business to implode, right? Pitch documents obtained by the block show that Celsius approached both Wall Street Bank, Goldman Sachs, DSAX, and Abu Dhabi-backed fund ADQ about a project branded Celsius Web Services in May and June, respectively. The initiative would see Celsius offer generic versions of its products, including those focused on yield and custody, and was described in one of the decks as a Web3 toolbox for a new world. Wow. I've read so many pitch decks that read like that.
Yeah. I'm telling you, that was a hot cake at that time.
At that time, it's still a thing. People are like, Web3 is not even defined yet. I'm like, no, it freaking is. Quit. Give me that microphone. Stop talking. Sit down. Listen for a second. Web3 is...
It's all marketing, bro. That was Web5 announced.
Yeah. But hear this real quick. Web3 means there's an element of self-custody. Dun, dun, dun. Really, that's all it means. It means instead of everything's on a server, it means you is the server.
You own the data.
It's an ownership problem. So Alex Mashinsky, the former CEO of Celsius, who resigned in September, spearheaded the CWS plan and wanted to raise $1 billion to get it off the ground, according to a person with direct knowledge of the matter. As well as Goldman and ADQ, Mashinsky, which is an awesome name, sounds like a hockey player. Hey, Mashinsky, pass it over here. Pitched his own board which until June last year included Lawrence Tosi, managing partner at Westcap Group and a representative of Canadian pension fund Caisse d'Épargne et Placement du Québec. I probably said that wrong, but it sounds something like that. Those investors jointly invested $750 million in Celsius. Oof, that's not bad. How would you like a $750 million check?
Bro.
I could use that for some business efforts right now. Dang, girl. But wanted no part of CWS. Aw.
Bad call.
So they invested a bunch of money in Celsius, but they didn't want any part of that CWS part. Sad. Mashinsky attempted to launch a raft of new products and pivot Celsius away from its core business of lending out crypto assets. Couldn't, however, happen fast enough to avoid the lending business sinking the entire company. I hate it when that happens.
Bad plans.
Celsius froze withdrawals on June 12th and filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy a month later, owing over $4.7 billion. No!
Oh.
To more than 10,000 or
No bueno.
100,000 users. I don't want to owe that much. Come on, bro. How are you going to pay that back? You like, look the other way.
I gone.
Yeah, she gone. What Mashinsky, wanted to do was to create the Amazon Web Services of crypto. It's noble. Said the source. The second, by the way, Amazon Web Services is the Amazon Web Services of crypto. They have blockchain stuff. So kids these days, they don't know who they're talking to. A second person close to Celsius said of the CWS plan, a summary often used was Plaid for Web3. While adding that it went by many names internally, Plaid is a fintech startup that helps customers connect their financial data to new apps and services. So Celsius sinking ship. As the pressure mounted on Celsius in May, Mashinsky hoped he could shift attention to the CWS project. The first person said it was a strategy that surprised some people with the business or within the business, given how recently Celsius had banked $750 million from investors externally. They had added, but by that point, the funds were already gone. She gone. Jaime, she gone?
She gone. She gone.
She gone.
You ain't seen her again. She gone.
Jenny. The reality is that no one had any idea how bad things were at the time, the person said. Those comments chime with the findings of a 689-page report by court-appointed examiner Shobha Pillai published earlier this year. So throughout May 2022, as Celsius's employees openly expressed the view that Celsius was a sinking ship without a plan, sad, Mr. Mashinsky continued to assure customers that all was well. Celsius also continued to focus on growth, attempting to attract additional deposits by offering promo codes and reassurances about its liquidity. Yeah, if a crypto company starts giving you coupons,
no.
Like, why
Run.
are you giving me coupons?
Run, don't be
like, yeah, just don't leave. You're like,
don't be a tool, guys. Let's go. Get out of there.
I'll get put in a 12-foot pit if you don't use this coupon code. Mashinsky was hit with a civil lawsuit from New York Attorney General Letitia James. We talk about her all the time.
Yep.
In January, that accused him of misleading investors about the health of Celsius. He last week dismissed the fraud claims as baseless. That's such a typical reaction, isn't it?
All the time. You got to show you're convinced, but everyone knows the truth anyway.
Use hyperbole. That's how you can convince people that you're legitimate, right?
Yeah.
Blanket statements and hyperbole. There you go. In response to requests for comment on the CWS project from the block, Mashinsky offered a link to blog post detailing the true story of Celsius's collapse, authored by the pseudonymous Twitter user named Cellhodl. Yeah, Celsius Huddle, I assume. It suggests that Celsius's demise resulted from an attack by short sellers, namely Alameda Research. It was Sam Bankman-Fried. It was Sam.
Yep. See, he comes back.
PFTX me in the closet.
Mr. Cucumber.
What? Yeah, the sister company of Sam Spankman-Fried. Spam Bankman-Fried. Failed crypto exchange FTX. A spokesperson for Caisse de Pont et Plaisant de Quebec, something like that, declined to. I'm so dumb sometimes. Declined the comment. ADQ, Goldman, D. Sachs, Westcap, and Celsius new management did not respond to requests for comment. They don't want to talk about it.
No,
So
they know the truth.
yeah, they don't want to talk about it. Like, yeah, it's embarrassing. Let's talk about golf.
That's right.
We can talk about golf together. So Celsius is a Web3 toolbox. Ultimately, the CWS plan did not come off, with Goldman and ADQ passing and Celsius existing investors following suit. Corporate records in the UK suggest Westcap Tosis resigned from the board on June 22nd last year. Still, details of the last grass pivot give some insight on how Mashinsky hoped to save his ailing crypto empire. Well, there you go. The Goldman deck, dated May 22, states that Celsius hoped to explore how it could partner with the bank to further its involvement in the crypto industry. CWS has a dedicated internal team with a deck promised and the full backing of a board and external investors. Most of the deck consists of high-level overview of the types of services Celsius could offer through CWS. And this is pretty typical. Most of these types of decks we've seen, things aren't built yet. The idea is that they have a vision of what could be. They're pitching it to people with money. And when they pitch it to someone with money, the people say, yeah, I could see how many people would be interested in that, how much money we
the
can corner the
addressable
market,
all that stuff. Yeah.
The initiative would see Celsius white label its products in the short term, those focused on yield, custody, on-ramp services, and a tool for bridging centralized and decentralized ecosystems named Celsius X, which sounds like a band. Just Celsius X 5000. Sounds like an industrial band with green hair. Credit card, staking, prime brokerage, insurance, and NFTs were all listed as potential areas CWS could come to encompass in the future. I suppose my question on this, Jaime, is why do you need to bridge centralized systems with decentralized systems? It sounds like it's more than just on-ramp services. It's like, hey, let's take the decentralized things and we'll hold custody of it. And you can, because you can take the teeth out of the lion's mouth if you are a middleman who holds custody of your people's decentralized assets, right? Like,
yes. So, and it adds liquidity by doing this. Now there's more liquidity. People from the decentralized working with the centralized or interfacing with the centralized. So I think that's what they were after. And then, of course, them taking a piece of every transaction from it. And that's a business.
Yeah, I got feelings about that. But businesses demand a scalable, that's true, all-in-one solution, kind of true, with everything needed to build your business. I mean, I like that idea, but Celsius Web Services offered a foundational product suite to power rapid business transformation and continued growth, a Web3 toolbox for a new world. I mean, I don't.
Hey,
everyone's kind of trying to do this right now, and I don't think anyone's gonna do this right now.
No,
people are oversimplifying. There's a bunch. Let's talk about this real quick because I actually think this is valuable. So, a Web3 toolbox for a new world first requires you to agree on protocols. Okay, until protocols are confirmed, you're not building shit. You're not. We all agree Bitcoin is like a monetary protocol, but who's going to be the go-to NFT protocol? Is it Bitcoin now that Bitcoin has NFTs on it? Is it Litecoin because it's proof of, work but cheaper? Is it going to be a proof of stake coin? Is proof of stake even secure long term? Is proof of work sustainable long term? Like all these types of questions are being asked by different groups of people, and until we have regulatory clarity from the governing bodies too, a lot of crypto businesses are like, I don't even know where to build because I don't want to get rug pulled by the freaking government. I don't want to get like 3 years down a roadmap investors are expecting yields, and then the government rug pulls that. Like, man,
Yeah.
that
And
hurts, dude.
these guys were getting ahead of themselves. Just like you said, Data Lord, this is all up and coming. It's not even established yet. And now they're
Yeah.
trying to do exotic connections and fees, and that no one even understands the technology as it is now.
Yeah.
Fully. Why are you building all these layers? So you can see it was a house of cards that there were. There's a reason things implode.
Yeah. So I mean, crypto certainly is valuable, but I think a lot of people forget how experimental this space really is.
Mhm,
Like, I think Bitcoin has been established as no longer just an experiment. It seems pretty rock solid. 10 years of no downtime.
mhm.
I don't how many exahash are we at now? Like it's the
Exahash. Oh yeah,
it's the strongest network on the planet. Like it's backed by the largest amount of computational power to secure it. So
and
um,
unhacked thus far.
it hasn't been hacked. No downtime in 10 years. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. So I think Bitcoin's here to stay. I think there's a lot of other protocols that are totally up for grabs. Though I think Ethereum is pretty well entrenched because it was a first mover, and you have a lot of big companies like Microsoft and Intel and whatever, like the whole Ethereum alliance. But um, as far as everything else goes, I don't know what we're going to see. Like there could be an enormous amount of things that don't even exist yet that are going to become household names. So
Right.
building connections between everything when some things might just disappear. Like people thought that Luna was rock solid and it looked like it was. That's the crazy thing. And then it got like it crashed out of nowhere. So imagine you were Celsius and you built everything into Luna, and then Luna freaking
Around
tanks
that. Yeah.
itself. Like you look unprepared in front of a group of investors. Like
Yeah. It's not
they,
good.
they're gonna do due diligence, and you got poo on your mustache. So yeah. So anyways, I want to cut this article short here, but I did want to go over that piece. They are looking at CBDC strategies, and so just know that that's kind of the direction they're moving in. Um, yeah.
Mhm.
So Justin, Tom, what's up, brother? It's good to see you. You're going to the Bitcoin conference next week in Miami. Dope.
Just in
Yeah, I
time.
I wish I could. I do not have the availability to do that, but that's rad. Um,
Yeah.
I really should start scheduling that as a vacation.
Yeah, it's gonna be really big this year.
What's up, Briggs? I see you, brother. Um, so let's get into our headliner for the day, and let's talk about MetaMask. So MetaMask, I'm not promoting MetaMask with this, by the way. I'm merely pointing out that MetaMask is used by a lot of people. It's integrated directly into your browser, and MetaMask is becoming an on ramp for um, a lot of new people. Because they're getting into uh, como se dice NFTs. Yeah, it's
Non-fungible
NFTs.
tokens. Yeah,
Yeah, NFTs in Spanish is still NFTs.
that's
So,
right.
so MetaMask is rolling out uh, ETH purchases via PayPal. So don't sleep on this because this is an on ramp that a lot of people have and will increase the amount of volume and circulating supply. So
Yeah.
decentralized
PayPal's diving deep.
application, and PayPal is a big boy too.
Yeah. They're diving deep. They
Mhm.
declared they custody quite a bit of Bitcoin already.
Yep.
So
Let's talk about this, girl.
that's
So,
right.
decentralized application or DApp. What's up, dog? Provider and crypto wallet MetaMask has announced a partnership with payment service provider PayPal, and I think this is a shot across the bow for like things like Cash App. They're like, hey, we're a financial app too. We can do Bitcoin or something. The partnership will allow MetaMask users in the United States to purchase ETH via PayPal and purchase, sell, and hold, you spelled HODL wrong, ETH directly in their wallets. Purchase ETH through PayPal. So with the announcement, MetaMask claims to have become the first Web 3.0 wallet to offer ETH transaction options via PayPal. Okay. The collaboration allows MetaMask users based in the United States of America, not the United States of Canada, to use PayPal as their preferred payment method when purchasing ETH. The integration will also allow users to transfer ETH from PayPal to MetaMask. This is a significant boost when it comes to promoting the self-custody of crypto assets. In a press release, MetaMask stated, MetaMask is the first Web3 wallet to enable users to buy ETH using PayPal, a leader in digital payment space. It's true. In addition to purchasing ETH directly, the integration also supports the transfer of ETH from PayPal to MetaMask, aiding in more self-custody adoption. Okay. My only push on that is MetaMask technically has some security concerns.
Yeah.
So is it the best way to self-custody?
No, not custody.
But that's what they're
transact,
arguing.
maybe. I know.
They're arguing.
I know.
Yeah, maybe as a way to like approve your ledger to send stuff
Yeah,
on
transaction,
OpenSea
but
or
not-
something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
According to reports, PayPal partnered with MetaMask's parent company Consensus. Like emphasize that. In December 2022, back then the parties announced that the partnership would help users to purchase cryptocurrencies and explore the larger Web 3.0 ecosystem.
Good. Let's go.
Little comment on this too. Can we pick a syntax? Is it going to be Web 3 with no space? Is it going to be Web space 3.0? Is it going to be, I don't know. Can we pick a syntax and stick with it?
It's so green.
This right here is all lowercase web with a 3. This right here is capital W web space 3.0. I want us to pick one and stick with it. Can we do that?
It's a rookie writer, man. Rookie.
Well, I'm seeing it all over the place, and I don't even personally know myself. Like, what are we gonna do with this?
But on
like,
the same article, the dude couldn't even keep his. I'm sure his socks.
You gotta keep your.
His socks don't match, bro. He's single.
Yeah, each pair of your underwear you're wearing right now don't match. You're like, what?
That's two layers,
right?
What
do you mean? So the partnership with MetaMask sees PayPal join a vast ecosystem of payment providers that have already integrated with MetaMask. These include giants such as MoonPay, Coinbase Pay, Transact, yikes, Wire. That's your name? Transact, that's your name. Okay. Wire, Sardine, and a host of others. In a report, sorry, I'm just thinking about how bad this name is. Their logo is like Master Chief teabagging a body. Yikes. And a host of others. In a report filed with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission, PayPal stated that it held around 943 million in crypto assets as of the 31st of March 2023. This represents a significant 56% jump. Woo! Yeah, it's a jump from the previous quarter when it reported crypto assets worth $604 million. Okay. The news of MetaMask and PayPal's integrations comes just weeks after MetaMask announced the launch of a new feature that allowed users to purchase crypto directly from its portfolio DApp using fiat currency. And we covered that when it happened. The new feature called Buy Crypto allows users to purchase a range of cryptocurrencies via a number of payment methods such as credit and debit cards or ACH bank transfers. The service will cover over 189 countries and will support over 90 different cryptocurrencies spreading over 8 networks. That's awesome. These networks include the likes of Arbitrum, BNB Smart Chain, Polygon, what's up, boy? Ethereum, Phantom, Optimus, Cello, or Cello, or Kello, who knows what it's called, and Avalanche, which I think Avalanche is going to start kind of disappearing because they existed to fix the problem, in my opinion, of Ethereum not allowing liquidity of staking rewards. You can do that now.
Yeah.
So I think they'll become less and
no
less
more
of a
problem.
deal.
No more problem.
Well, there's still the problem of 32 ETH to stake, but I think less people are interested in staking ETH. I think that's the bigger thing. Buy Crypto considers the user's location, local regulations before providing them with a customized quote. So interesting. So MetaMask pushes for new partnerships. So pay attention. Nigeria is one of the leading nations when it comes to crypto adoption, and looks like they're trying to set up with Nigeria. So that could really seriously increase not just MetaMask's adoption, but crypto adoption in general. So interesting stories today.
Yes.
I think the big takeaway we have from all these stories is a lot of bad faith actors are getting held to account, and a lot of people who are building real use cases that help normal people just buy crypto and use it normally, they're rolling out and they're going to win. So a lot of people, we talk about the sex, no? Master Chief would never. Yeah, is it a sack if it's trans? It could be. You never know. It depends. It depends how far it's gone, right? So let's talk about this. There's a lot of people who are building in the space, but just because you're building in this space doesn't mean you're building something useful, right?
Yes.
Your kid could be an artist, but if your kid glues macaroni to a piece of construction paper, it's not going in an art museum. It's going on your fridge, right?
At least your mom will hang it for you.
There's a lot of crypto projects that look like that, though. Someone's like, look, I made a crypto project. It's like, you sure did, buddy. Look at you. They're like, is it worth money yet? Like, it's not. And so, like, people who are trying to think way too ahead of their time, they're going to get bit in the ass, and they're just going to show their cards to someone else who's going to build it better when the time's right because they have bankroll to do it. So I'd say just because you have a great idea doesn't mean you shouldn't pursue it, but it also doesn't mean you should make it public. And so there's kind of, I don't know how to guide you better on that other than look at just where people are at. Okay. It's okay to be a little bit ahead, but you're not going to serve yourself very well if you're too far ahead because you're going to be before your time. And so where are people at right now? They're at, how do I buy a Bitcoin? How do I send people Bitcoin? How do I use it? Prove to me it's real money, right? Once we get that down with normal early adopters and early majority, great. We're in a space to start moving other tools out. And yeah, NFTs can be a piece of that. Soulbound tokens can be a piece of that. But I think that's where we're at. Let's not go too far ahead of this and like, yeah, we're building a full Amazon Web Services. It's awesome. They don't need that right now.
No. Solve a problem, guys. Solve a problem or improves the life of something.
Yeah, you know, that's my take on it. And Jaime and I talk about this stuff all day, every day. So like, it's pretty near and dear to us. But it's Mother's Day this weekend. Don't forget, get your mom some Bitcoin. Scoop this. And
now's a good time to buy. It's near a support level, so it's the less risky time to buy for the long run.
Yeah. So until next time, this is Decentralized TV, Crypto and Coffee. I'm the Data Lord. This is Jaime. And we want to encourage you to keep calm and hodl on and help your mama hodl on. She's not holding Bitcoin. She's not hodling nothing.
And you know what? This is Blueberry Moon. Who made this song?
Oh. What is that?
It's good shit. I love
Is there a solo coming on? Are we about to rip on a solo?
How would you know this? Only someone who made this would know. Oh god.